No one vouches for anyone. Parents are the absolute worst. They will lie through their teeth to you all day long. Oh yeah, he's my son, he's 21. No, they're not. Friends will set you up. They could be your own friends, but they don't understand the implications that you can go through. Somebody comes to your section from the bar and there's somebody you would have carded, recard them. Hey guys, how was dinner tonight?
That was fantastic, yeah.
Beautiful,
not
Jeff.
Bad, not
Hey,
bad.
Jeff.
Steak and lobster.
Steak and lobster? Good for you. Do you guys have some IDs? Check
well, we just got done eating.
Yeah.
I understand that, but I didn't see your IDs, so I need to see your IDs while you're in here.
Oh, well, I mean, we just got done.
I understand that, guys, but and I'm sure you're 21. I have no doubt in my mind. I just need to see your IDs while you're sitting here. I didn't see your ID yet, and I just can't assume that you're of age.
Well, you know I'm of age. I mean, what am I, some kind of like super bartender or something?
Look, I can get a lot of trouble if you're a minor, okay? And I'm sure you're not, but just let me see your ID if I could, please.
Yeah, you know.
All right.
I'm out of here. Let's go.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night. Hey, what up, man?
Hey, can I get a pitcher of beer and 3 glasses?
Okay. Can I see your ID?
Yeah.
And where's the other 2 people at?
They're on their way.
On their way?
Yeah, they'll be down.
How long are they going to be here? From here?
They're probably about 15, 20 minutes
15, 20 minutes? You know, dude, I can't give you 3 glasses right now until I see the other 2 guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on, they'll be here. I told them I have beer waiting.
I understand that, and I so understand that, but here's the deal. I got to see where the beer is going to go to before I got to check the ID, okay? How about a beer for you while you're waiting?
All right.
Let's say I go into the bar, I grab 2 beers, I hand it to somebody who's 18, 19 years of age, we sit down, you assume they were carded. They were never carded. You got to be very careful about it. You got a group of youngins who are people of age, keep your eye on them. There's a good chance they'll have a little sip of minds going on. Now what happens if you catch a minor trying to get alcohol? A couple things. 1, please don't embarrass them. We're in the hospitality industry. Number 2, write down their description in the logbook. If they get caught with alcohol later on, you might be the one they throw under the bus. Just remember this, if in doubt, never serve. Minors do not limit the places where they will try to purchase alcohol. Off-premise locations such as grocery stores, convenience stores, and liquor stores are establishments that a minor will try to purchase alcohol. In these next case studies, you will observe how, as a seller of alcohol, to deny service to a minor or someone of age purchasing alcohol for a minor. From the viewpoint of the check stand that you're working at, you see a youthful-looking female standing outside of the front of the door. You watch her approach another female who appears to be of age, and as you are waiting on another customer, you try to watch what is happening through the window. You see the youthful-looking female hand the older woman what appears to be money. While the woman shops, you keep an eye on the younger female who is still outside. When the older woman brings her items to the check stand, you notice she has a bottle of wine as well as a 6-pack of beer. At this moment, you tell the customer what you saw happen, and that if you were to allow her to purchase the alcohol for someone who appears to be a minor, that in essence, you could be helping her and the minor break the law. A youthful-looking female enters your store and begins shopping. She wanders around the store putting various items into her basket, such as chips, popcorn, jerky, and snacks that you would find at a social gathering. When she puts the basket on the checkout stand, you notice she also has a 6-pack of beer in her basket. Before you ring anything up, you put your hand on the alcohol and move it out of her reach and ask her for ID. The customer fumbles around in her purse to find her wallet and appears to be nervous. When she finds the ID, you see that it is an out-of-state ID, one that you are not familiar with. To ensure the person is of age, you use a calculator to determine her age, which is 20 years old, not 21. You tell her that she's not old enough to purchase alcohol. The customer then points outside and tells you that the alcohol is for her mother who is out in the car. And if you'd like, she could call her mother and you could talk to her. Again, you explain to her that she's not old enough to purchase alcohol, and if her mom wants to purchase alcohol, she will have to come in herself. As a server-seller of alcohol, you have the responsibility to not sell or serve alcohol to underage persons. As we discussed, the ramifications, both civil and criminal, can be huge. As a safe resort, always card anyone who appears to be under the age of 27, even if a coworker has already checked the ID. It is the person who serves or sells the liquor who is held accountable. Remember, it is required that when a licensee or employee questions if a customer is a minor that they Number 1, demand identification from the person. Number 2, examine the identification to determine that the identification reasonably appears to be a valid, unaltered identification that has not been defaced. Number 3, examine the photograph and identification and determine that the person reasonably appears to be the same person in the identification. Number 4, determine that the date of birth and the identification indicates the person is not under the legal drinking age. To properly record an ID, the procedures must follow these guidelines. Any of the following types of records are acceptable forms for recording the person's identification. Number 1, a writing containing the type of identification, the date of issuance of the identification, the name on the identification, the date of birth on the identification, and the signature of the person. Number 2, an electronic file or printed document produced by a device that reads the person's age from the identification. Number 3, a dated and signed photocopy of the identification. Number 4, a photograph of the identification. And number 5, a digital copy of the identification. If this procedure has already been done by a fellow employee or the licensee during the current visit by a customer, you do not have to redo it. But again, I go back to the very simple philosophy. If you have doubts, do not serve or sell any alcohol to the individual. This concludes Module 8. Let's do a little recap. In this module, you learned how to properly check an ID. You should now be familiar with the importance of not selling or serving alcoholic beverages to a minor. How to identify a minor. Acceptable and unacceptable forms of identification in Arizona State. Details of the Arizona State driver's license and its identification cards. The 10-point checking system. What to look for on a suspect ID. And how to deny service and/or sales to a minor. You may now take the Module 8 quiz.